Hi guys, welcome to my channel Subhasar's classes. Today we are going to conclude the thematic basis of electrostatics that started with Coulomb's law and ends with Gauss law, and in this video we are going to discuss what are the comparisons between the two laws, Coulomb's law and Gauss law, and in the next, are there any close links between the two laws? The third point is, can we derive one law from the other? So let us start with Coulomb's law. In Coulomb's law, we know that the force, the interacting force between two charges, when the two charges are very close to each other and the two charges are point charges, we know that the force of interaction, the force of attraction or repulsion between two point charges is directly proportional to the product of their magnitude and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, for which we write F is proportional to Q1 Q2 and is proportional to 1 by r square, and combining these two we find this rule to be F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by r square, and putting the value of K, the proportionality constant, finally we reach here F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by r square. In this rule we have the product of two charges, magnitude of the product of the two charges are proportional to the force. It is also proportional to, inversely proportional to 1 by r square, the square of the distance between the two, and 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, which is the value of which is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. This value also counts a lot in SI. This is used. So this is the basis, the theme of Coulomb's law as we studied in the first video, and here we find that force between the two charges increases when one of the charges increase. Say suppose the first charge is 300 coulombs, the second is 100 coulombs. So the interaction between them is say x unit, the force is x newtons. What if I increase the 100 coulomb to 300 coulombs? The first one was 300 coulombs, the second one was 100 coulombs, and the interacting force is suppose x newtons. What if I make this 300 coulomb while this one remains the same? So this will become 3x newtons because the force is proportional to the product of the two charges. And if I just manage to make this 1 coulomb only, then this will be 3x upon 300, which is x upon 100. And do you know, this force is otherwise also known as electric field of this charge on at that point. So if there are two charges, one charge is 300 coulombs and another charge is 1 coulomb, then the force at this point, the force on this point, on this unit point charge, the test charge will be the electric field on the charge q, which is also known as electric field. So electric field is nothing but the force exerted on a 1 coulomb charge by a larger charge. So we say that E is force upon q, charge. So if E is force upon charge, its unit is Newton per coulomb, F in Newton, Q in coulomb. So this factor has a close link with both the laws. From Coulomb's law we can derive electric field as this, and from Gauss law also we can derive electric field as this. Let us discuss about Gauss law. What is Gauss law? Gauss law is a law which relates the electric flux factor with the charge content inside the surface. Suppose there is a surface, this surface contains q, charge of q, charge of amount q, and what will be the total electric flux linked with this surface? If that electric flux linked with the surface is phi e, then according to Gauss this amount will be the 1 by epsilon 0 times q in the surface. So q by epsilon 0. This was Gauss law, and Gauss also proved that the electric flux is nothing but the product of the electric field and the surface, total surface. So this becomes phi E. So according to Gauss, electric flux is q upon epsilon 0. Also electric flux is the product of E and S, and according to Coulomb, this force is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q dash by r square if the two charges are q and q dash, and also F by q is equal to E. So F is equal to q into E, where what is E? E will be 1 q less from the Coulomb's law. So E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. If we just divide q dash on both the sides, we get electric field on left side and 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square on right side. So now see, in these two formulae, in Coulomb's law we have electric field, in Gauss law we have electric field. So how can we relate these two? Clearly see, when there is a sphere, the sphere will have a surface area of 4 pi r square. So S is equal to 4 pi r square. Now if you multiply A into 4 pi r square, you are multiplying E with S for the sphere. So this should be phi E. And if you simplify this part, you will finally reach Coulomb's law. Now let us have the derivations, how we can convert one law to the other law, whether we can find Gauss law out of Coulomb's law and Coulomb's law out of Gauss law. Let us go in this way. See, according to Gauss law, we know that phi E is E into S, and this is equal to q upon epsilon 0. So from this part, if we are considering for a sphere, S is equal to 4 pi r square. So clearly E into S is E into 4 pi r square. This is equal to q upon epsilon 0. Now what is E? 4 pi r square will be divided on the right hand side. So E will be 1 upon 4 pi r square into q by epsilon 0. Let us reshuffle these parameters, keeping in view of the formula of E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. Let us look whether this part is included in that. 1 by 4 pi is there, 1 by r square is there, q is there, and epsilon is there. So let us write that way. So E is equal to, now E into 4 pi epsilon 0, E into 4 pi r square is q upon epsilon 0. So the value of E is this much. Write it in this way, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q by r square. Clearly from Gauss law we have reached the value of E, and we know according to Coulomb's law F is equal to q into E. So now let us find F. F will be QE. So take q dash, for a charge q dash, F will be q dash into E. So q dash into 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. So how much we get? We get F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q dash by r square, and this is Coulomb's law, this one. So this way we are reaching Coulomb's law from Gauss law. Note it clearly. Let us go for the other way around. Can we find Gauss law from Coulomb's law? In this section we are dealing with Coulomb's law, and from that we are trying to find Gauss law. So what is Coulomb's law? Coulomb's law is the force between two charges q and q dash is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q dash by r square. So from this we get E is equal to F upon q dash, which is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. So if you keep E this way, E is this much, then what if I multiply, what if I reshuffle this in this way? This one is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, sorry 1 by 4 pi r square into q by epsilon 0. We know that Gauss law is nothing but phi e, which is E into S is equal to q by epsilon 0. So keeping in mind that I have to reach here, I am trying to find q by epsilon 0 from this formula. I am taking q by epsilon 0 away, and what is left is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 4 pi r square. And here also I know that the surface area for a sphere is 4 pi r square. So now I write here E is 1 upon S into q by epsilon 0. So S will be multiplied this way, E into S is equal to q by epsilon 0, and we know that in Gauss law phi E is E into S. So I can write here phi E is q upon epsilon 0, and this is Gauss law. This was Coulomb's law. Now I think you are very much clear how Coulomb's law can produce Gauss law, which is electric flux linked with the surface is 1 by epsilon 0 times q, or the charge in the surface, and Gauss law can produce Coulomb's law, and Coulomb's law can produce Gauss law. So with this, I think you are clear about the conversions, the derivations, and the interlinks between the two formulae. If you like this video, try to share it, subscribe it, and subscribe my channel, and thanks for visiting. And in the next video we are going for the applications of Gauss theorem, and till then, bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.